because there's not been a match, and here I am doing a video. But look, we're going to see how it goes, because I've got an opinion, and it's turning out to be a fairly controversial opinion, which I think is probably why I want to do a video on it, to be honest. There's so many rumours flying about at the moment. You know, it's transfer time, so social media is just rife. It seems even more so this year, that rumours are just everywhere, especially in regards to West Ham. And let's be honest, who we want might not necessarily end up being who we're going to get, especially when it comes to the board and opening their wallet. But there's been a specific rumour flying about. There's been flying about for a while, but it's annoyed me, and it's also annoyed me because it's increasingly gaining traction as well, as if it could be true. Marko Arnautovic, Arnie, our bastard, the man with a brother. I'll get straight to the point. I absolutely don't want him back at the club. He left us for the big money in China, and he didn't look back. And I'm almost certain he'd only want to come back to West Ham because we're in the Europa. I'm almost certain he'll give up any money he gets and being in China to play in the Europa. I could be wrong. I could be cynical. It's not the first time. It's not the last. But I definitely think that's got something to do with it. I've put this opinion out on my social media, and it's been a truly mixed reaction. Some agree with me. They wouldn't have him anywhere near the club again. But some other fans are like, no, get him back. Is who we need. You know, we need our bastard back in West Ham. Get him back. Sign him now. I'll take him. I'll forget everything. And it's not just the fans, because originally it was just the fans, and it was like, okay, that's just a rumour. But then no, Mark Noble went and did an interview, and he said he was sad to see him go when he went, and how people really liked him and how he got on and he fitted in well in the team. And also, it's not just Nobes, it's Moyes. Moyes has said he'll have him back. So that's definitely been one of the main reasons people have given me for having him back. If Moyes wants him back, why not? Now, he's not everyone's favourite, because in her Sun column, it's everyone's favourite Karen Brady. She wasn't complimentary about him at all, and especially, and her words, not mine, his feckless brother. Now, she wouldn't have him back. The club wouldn't have him back. So that's where they stand on it. I don't agree with her ever. But in this case, I actually do. I don't think it would be a good idea to take him back. I stand quite firm on that. Now, he'd be on a free, so that says a lot to me, because they don't want to pay for anyone, so it would be just his wages. So I feel like it does say a lot, because it's not someone that have to fork out a ton of money on. But regardless of what people want to remember, whether they want to remember the fond times we had with Arnie, he did leave on bad terms, and he kind of left on bad terms twice. Then he came back, and then he left, even though we all knew he was going to go. His brother, like any agent, has a huge hand in what a player does, and personally I just find it incredibly disruptive. I find his brother incredibly disruptive. He's led by his brother. I think a lot of people agree with this at the time, but I think his brother had a big part in him going to China, obviously more money, etc, etc. Now, all of that aside, because that's only one part of Arnautovic, got to get onto his ability. Yes, we need a striker. Yes, we probably need more than one striker. I say probably, we do. But is he going to be up to it? His record in China isn't bad. You know, it's not the best, but he's scored goals. He started, I think, this year he started 4 times. It's not amazing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he doesn't get a great deal of football over there. And also, the Chinese Super League is different. It's a different kettle of fish compared to the Premier League, and it's a different kettle of fish compared to Europe. And not just that, he's older, and I'd argue he's out of practice. He's not getting the football he was when he played for West Ham. I was an Arnie fan with us, and in fact it was Moyes that converted him into a striker, which in turn made him a much better player for us. And also another point, you know, if you were going to go with the get Arnie back, he's a Moyes player, and we all know what a Moyes player gets, and that starts, because unlike Ben Rama, who wasn't a Moyes player, he doesn't get many starts, so Arnie would get a start instantly. The thing is, and I suppose this is my biggest bugbear, is we are such a cohesive team at the moment, and I think he would come in and he would disrupt the flow of how we are. The team he chose to leave, the West Ham he chose to leave to go to China, is not the West Ham now. We are a different. And listen, in the comments you might jump down and go, before Arnie left that we were doing really well. We were. I'm not saying we weren't, but compared to where we are now is, in my opinion, a completely different place. We are a different team. And one thing I didn't like about him, and this was, he did this throughout his time at West Ham, but especially when he was going to leave, when it seemed like he couldn't make his mind up whether he was going to stay or when he was going to go, he sulks. He permanently sulks. The man doesn't get the ball. He doesn't get a pass. He just throws his hands up in the air and walks around like a sulking child. Now, I mentioned sulking child. He did an interview on Austrian TV and he admitted that his teammates at Shanghai give him the nickname, and I'm not going to say it in Mandarin, but it translates into Big Baby. And he said that that's because he's cute. He's a big, really, is it because they look at you and think, my God, what a cute man? Or is it because that when you don't get what you want, you throw your hands up in the air and you walk around like a toddler? Again, it could just be being cynical. They might think he's extremely cute. But for me, it's a case of he just sulks, and it's certainly what he did for us. And I can't imagine he's particularly changed when he's there. Like I said, something I saw in the last few matches before he did go, he did sulk. He didn't put much into it. Now, again, you could say that's because he knew he was going. But is that what we want? Can you honestly tell me that he's a changed man? That he's a changed player? No, he's not. He's going to come back and he's going to do exactly the same thing. It's difficult because we need a striker, and I'm sitting here going, aha, we can have one, but I don't want him. I don't want him because he was good for us once, but is he good for us now? Is there younger strikers we could be looking at? Of course there is, absolutely. I honestly can't see the ball go for it, especially what with Karen Brady putting out there in her column. But if Moyes is all for it, and we know that Moyes is the one who's making decisions on who we're getting, he has a huge input in the players that we get. And if he really wants him, I suspect he'll go and get him. But I just don't think he's right for the West Ham that we are now. We should be looking forwards and not backwards. And I think if we signed Arnie again, we're going backwards when we should only be moving forward with us going into the Europa. But I suppose if he does come back with us again, we'll get another I'm happy to be back hostage video. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, I've moaned far too much. Now, let me know in the comments what you think. Come at me with your opinions. I want to hear them. Like, do you disagree? Do you think it would be a great move to have him and that we should just trust in Moyes? Because, you know, that's got us pretty far so far that we've trusted in Moyes. Or do you agree with me that we should just stay away from this particular signing? I hope you all have a lovely bank holiday weekend and enjoy the sun. Take care.